Our task force is charged with providing both liquid replenishment and solid replenishment to all the other warships that are involved in RIMPAC. We're moving around the globe in that vast bit that is the Pacific, then being able to understand the combat logistics vessels is fundamental to making naval operations work.
You know, the world is getting more complex and more dangerous. It's too hard to do it alone. And really, I think the success in the future for our countries will be the ability to integrate with partners and support a common goal.
And I think it's the first time that Germany takes part in RIMPAC. It's a great experience for us to meet all those nations, especially nations we usually don't work together with.
CTF 173 is headed by the Royal New Zealand Navy, which is a great experience for us, and that came around with us trying to develop our experience in sea combat logistics at a much bigger scale across multiple task forces than we normally do. We are, after all, as New Zealand, a maritime nation. We are islands that are stuck away down in the South Pacific, and so the oceans and the trade we get from it, our freedoms of movement, are fundamental to our continued prosperity and freedom as New Zealand. So without CTF 173, we would simply not be able to do RIMPAC. We'd have to bring the ships into port all the time, probably about every 3 or 4 days, and that's not a realistic way about how we'd conduct maritime operations.
I mean, it's a learning to do all the replenishment with all those different nations. Sometimes the way the maneuvers are conducted are not always 100% clear. This is a real good learning out of it, that we are able to solve the problems if we work together.
In terms of interoperability, there's been some real good wins for the New Zealand Navy. Our tanker Aotearoa has been able to demonstrate a capability to be able to take fuel at sea from some of the US commercial tankers, which at the moment only the US and New Zealand can do. And that means that we can offer that capability to our partners, mainly the US, for a really sought after capability. I think everyone has a really good and positive perception of New Zealand and really like the professionalism. I've had some really good feedback about our team, about the way they conduct themselves, the general professionalism.
We don't have the opportunities to work with New Zealand, so it's my first time. I think we are pretty similar. So our understanding of how to work in a military structure, of how to solve problems, of how to think problems is quite similar. So it's a very cooperative, very team-oriented approach.
Captain Dowling and his staff. Really easy integration, very approachable. Within nations, every country is a little bit different. So if we only work within our national lines, you know, we get sort of pigeonholed into operational procedures that may not be ideal. And having interoperability opportunities that we have here at RIMPAC provides an opportunity to see other ways that other countries do things, identify strengths and weaknesses, and improve our own procedures.
RIMPAC is incredibly important for not just the RNZN, but the NZDF as a whole. It's not just a naval exercise, it's a combined forces exercise set in the maritime domain. And we can see that from an NZDF point of view, where we have Army, Air Force and naval personnel and assets deployed out here. That's huge at the moment because it gives us the opportunity to work not just with Five Eyes partners, who we traditionally work with, but those other nations across the Pacific who believe in keeping good law and order, about keeping those economic highways clear, which is what we all depend on in the Pacific.